Welcome to our special podcast in celebration of Women in Engineering Day. We have some amazing conversations lined up with four very inspirational women who have conquered challenges in our industry in what is a very, very male dominated field. Join us as we delve to explore their journeys, their triumphs, their successes, and their struggles, and the determination that propelled them to succeed. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Yeah, if you could just start with just a bit of an intro on yourself, really, your background as an engineer, and how many years you've been in the industry, and if you're comfortable to talk about who you work for, that would be excellent. If
Sure.
not, no problem.
Yeah. So I'm Bestan Star. I was born and raised in Finland, and I decided to pursue my career in engineering in Dubai. So I moved here in 2017, got my degree in architectural engineering from Harriet Watt. And from there, I started working with Bureau Happold as a graduate electrical engineer. So I have 2 years of experience in the engineering field. Almost two
Amazing.
years, actually, a year
Almost.
and 10 months.
Let's say 3 years.
Yeah, let's make it five.
Excellent. Yeah. And what made you decide on engineering specifically as a career out of all the ones there are out there?
I think what made me decide on engineering as a career was the ability to use my skills and knowledge to make a positive impact on people's lives. And I like the fact that engineering provides the opportunity for us to design sustainable and environmentally friendly solutions. And I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in renewable energy engineering. So I think just being able to contribute to the development of solutions, that can minimize the
Mm.
negative impact on the environment is a rewarding experience.
That's amazing, and the contribution or the impact that
Yeah.
engineers have on our daily lives. Like before I got into the industry, I think I was pretty ignorant. Every time I walked into a building, I just thought someone in construction made it, you know.
Yeah.
But it literally makes our MEP engineers, especially, our daily lives more comfortable. Wherever we are, and in the UK, we're experiencing that right now with a what we call a
Indeed.
heat wave because it's 30 degrees, which you're most used to and probably enjoy, but our houses aren't made for that
Eh,
here, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the perception, would you say, of women in the MENA region compared with other countries?
I think the perception of women in the MENA region compared to other countries is a bit complex and multifaceted because this region is very diverse and we have a range of different cultures, religions, and traditions. So there are challenges and obstacles facing the women in this region, but I think women in MENA are constantly breaking down barriers and contributing to their societies in a wide range of fields, not just engineering, from politics to business to arts. And I think it's important for everyone to acknowledge and support these efforts.
Absolutely, and that the perception piece for sure, especially back here in the UK for
Mhm.
people that haven't necessarily been to Dubai, there is that perception of how things may be for women. But that's no, it's good to see, and you can see it in, as you say, all fields with arts, politicians and stuff like that, which is amazing. That empowerment of women and women in leadership positions, which is brilliant. And have
Definitely.
you have you ever found the gender biases or stereotypes, have they affected your experience as a woman in the engineering field at all?
Think as a woman in the engineering field, I think I have certainly experienced my fair share of gender biases and stereotypes, but I refuse to let any external factors define my capabilities and determined to just continue pushing forward in my career. But what helps me is just knowing that I'm part of a larger movement of women who are changing the perceptions on what it means to be an engineer. And I'm confident that we'll continue to make progress through our collective efforts. So we're here to stay.
That's amazing, and it's so good and important that there are opportunities for women like yourself in the Middle East, of course, but everywhere else around the world.
Definitely.
In what's been, especially for us in construction, such a male-dominated industry,
Yeah.
for sure. And what's your, if you had a crystal ball, Bestan, what's your vision for the future for women in engineering?
My vision for the future of women in engineering is one where the field is truly diverse and inclusive. We'll have women occupying a proportionate number of leadership roles and working in environments that are supportive of all engineers. But I think to achieve this vision, it requires effort from a range of stakeholders, including educational institutions, professional organizations, employers, and policymakers. But by working together and embracing the values of diversity, um, I think we can just create a field of engineering that reflects the diversity of our societies also and just empowers us to make contributed contributions to the field.
Brilliant. And how do you believe that we can achieve greater gender parity and inclusivity in our field? Along with what you've mentioned there, is there any other ideas?
Um, I think just if employers and just educational institutions kind of spread that open-mindedness of gender equality, inclusivity, then we could reach there.
Definitely, and it's as you say, it starts with education, doesn't it? With any of these sorts of things, it's so important that
Definitely.
that message is portrayed in the right way, of course, and communicated in the right way, but not just for tick box. And that's I remember the sustainability initiatives when in construction, when some people felt that the lead accreditations and stuff for a building were just a tick box. But
Yeah.
it's similar to this, isn't it? It's so important that it's actually done for the right reasons, for sure, by educating people. And how can men, being a man myself, of course, in this industry, how can men become better allies and advocates for gender equality in engineering?
I think for men to become better allies and advocates for gender equality, I think the first step is for men to just understand what are the issues that women face and then listening to them and taking these issues seriously. I also believe that men in leadership roles, when they promote gender equality, it also positively influences other men to do the same. Um, I think it's also just important to speak up against any discrimination or prejudice. So if hearing any sexist jokes or comments, just standing up for women's rights, that would help.
Definitely, and yeah, nobody should ever feel uncomfortable, no
Mm.
matter where they are. Nobody should ever make you feel uncomfortable. That's an incredibly good point. And as you say, people can be, yeah, really making an influence by making those positive decisions, so others
Definitely.
can follow suit, essentially, for want of a better word. And final question: what advice would you give to anyone wanting to pursue a career in engineering?
My advice is very short and simple. It's just don't be afraid and just go for it. If you believe this is what you want to do, you'll be able to do it. It's a very rewarding career, and I think anyone who's interested shouldn't be afraid to go for it.
Brilliant. And I said final question, but just leading on from that,
Final question.
final question. What do you know now that you wish you knew 3 years ago, or even before, actually, before when you were just thinking, contemplating about becoming an electrical engineer?
I think people make engineering seem very complex and very technical, which it is. But when you're in that situation and you have that support system around you and you have your team, it's really not that difficult and you'll be able to enjoy it. And it's a very rewarding career, as I said, being able to see, your work live. I think it's an amazing career, and I wish I knew then that, MEP is not this, scary, scary career that, be afraid
Yeah,
to go.
definitely, and the contribution, especially for yourself, you must be able to walk around Dubai now, and the Museum of the Future. I hope you don't mind me saying. I know you worked on that project, didn't you? That must be amazing to go past that on Sheikh Zayed Road and know you personally contributed to that. You worked on that project. That must be incredible. That
I
sense
actually
of
joined
fulfillment.
right when there was the handover, so I can't take credit for
Oh.
Museum of the Future.
Oh, damn. I thought you did
I
it
did
all
do a
yourself.
site visit though, right before the handover, so
Uh,
so I guess I don't
well,
mind getting credit.
yeah, apologies for that one, but credit
No,
to
it's
Bureau
okay.
Happold for sure.
Yeah.
But other projects, of course, I'm sure
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
contributing and have done, seeing that your contribution to the skyline of Dubai and other places, that must give you an incredible sense of fulfillment to walk past there.
Definitely.
As we bring this episode to a close, we'd like to thank our four special guests, Mary, Bestan, Alina, and Sorsan. Thank you so much for sharing your inspiring stories and your experiences as women in engineering. I've personally really enjoyed a lot of the references, especially to the Middle East market, because of the perceptions that we have here back in the UK. You can see that there is some real true change which is starting to take place. There's still a lot to be done, but the most important point is that there is change and it is happening now. I hope their stories inspire you, and I hope that they inspire a new generation of women that are looking to pursue their dreams and leave an indelible mark on the engineering field as a whole. So once again, thank you so much to the four amazing ladies that contributed today and who they continue to defy expectations and pave the way for a more inclusive and diverse future.